Hey YouTube, this is Justin, aka Demonic Sweaters, and what you're just checking out there is my MPD pad controller that I've done several videos on already. One of the last videos I posted, somebody had asked, I wonder how well those things work with hydrogen. So what I did is I hooked it up to hydrogen, and what you see it actually is hooked into my Raspberry Pi that I have in my Macintosh SE case, which I made some videos on this a long time ago. You can check those out if you check through my older videos. I call it the Macin Pi SE. And but anyway, so I have it run into hydrogen, and to answer your question, it actually works really, really well on hydrogen. Basically, all you have to do is assign the Midi controller, and then everything basically just works. You don't really have to do much of anything. But there is some cool stuff you can do in hydrogen as far as assigning pads and things like that. Or not pads, but controls and other stuff. And then you can also do like looping and things like that. So what I'm going to do is go into the screen capture in hydrogen and then show you guys what I actually, how I configured it and what you can actually do. So here we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at everything here. And I just have hydrogen 0.9.7. I have no idea what the newest version of hydrogen is. I honestly don't really use hydrogen ever. So it's kind of new to me as far as, you know, all the settings and stuff, because I never really played with it that much. Honestly, my opinion of it was that it seemed nice, but I just didn't really ever think I would have a use for it, just because it's just a drum machine, you know, like I can program drums in basically any DAW, so I don't know. But some people really like it. So anyway, here we are. Let's go ahead first, before I get into the settings of hydrogen. Let me show you my setup here in Jack. That's not what I want. What am I doing? I want to go to my patch bay or connections, and hydrogen, you can just see it's going to the audio out, and then the MIDI is coming from my Akai MPD24 into hydrogen right there. But I actually did that within hydrogen. I didn't even use QJack control to make the connection. And so to do that, basically, let's go into our preferences here, and audio system, you can see, is set to auto, so it automatically picked up that I'm using Jack. Now MIDI system is where we're going to do most of our stuff. So what I did here, and what is really cool, like it basically already worked, all the pads, so I really didn't have to do anything for those, but I did want my play button and my stop button and rewind and fast forward and record and all of that to work, so I could do that to record loops and patterns. So all you have to do to map a MIDI control is you basically just touch this little record button right here, and then it just says waiting for MIDI input. So any input that you touch on the controller at this point will be mapped to that control. So I'm just going to turn one of my knobs, and now you see CC MIDI control number 14, and then here you just select what you want that to control. So you can go through all of these different controls here: pans, beat counters, tap tempo, playlist, blah blah blah, all this different stuff. But I basically mapped everything that I want to map on mine, so I don't really need this, and I'm not sure how to get rid of these really. I haven't figured that out yet. Let's see. I don't know if you can get rid of them. I don't see how to delete them. I guess leaving it there like that won't hurt anything. But okay, so once you get all of your MIDI controls set up, let's go back into the main area here, and then if I tap my pads on the controller, you can hear how they're all mapped out. Now, one of the things that I thought was pretty cool is if I press play here, you see how I press play on my controller, and this little pattern section is looping now. So I could basically record, if I want to, I can record arm using my controller because I mapped that pad to there. And then let me turn on my metronome right here, and then actually let me turn off record for now. If I just play it with the metronome on, it's just a simple 4-bar loop. So let me go ahead and record arm, and then I'm going to record something here. So I'm going to press play. right, so that's pretty cool. And then right here, I can play back. I turn off the metronome. And then, of course, you can always click on other patterns here, and then you can create a new one. Let's see. Put the metronome back on. Apologize for the horns in the background. Once again, this is New York City, so you'll have that kind of thing here. Let's see. Okay, so let's record. Okay, so it is pretty cool for programming beats, you know, to use the pad controller. And I might, who knows, maybe I'll end up using Hydrogen because this actually is kind of fun. And I like the looping feature. You can actually, you know, you could go here and I could make these longer if I wanted to. Well, let's create another one, and then I'll make this one a 16 bar loop. The one thing that's a little bit funny is it lists 16 for 8. You know, that's actually an 8 bar loop. But I guess it's counting all of the notes. Like, it's weird. That, to me, should say 8. But anyway, it says 16. So if you want an 8 bar loop, you just select 16. It's just double everything you really want. And, okay, so let's play some stuff here. Let me find some other sounds. Okay, so one thing I should mention too is I actually have my pad controller set to full level, so that's why everything is the same velocity. Just because this actual controller, these pads are actually, you have to hit them quite hard to get a good level on them. So just out of easiness, I like to have it on the full level setting a lot of the time. But okay, so now let's go ahead and see what we can do with some of these. Now what you can do is you can arrange some of these beats very easily here. Oops. So let's do that one because it's twice as long. Go back there and back to there. Okay, so and then I think to play song mode, we just click up here. And all of this can be mapped as well to the MIDI controller. So you could actually do quite a bit. So let's hear this back. Oh, let me turn off the click. So you get the idea, and actually, let me see something. If I play that back, yeah, so you could even, you could have different samples mapped to different things, and if you were playing that back, you could even play over top of it. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it gives you a lot of different options. Now, what I did here is I actually mapped some effects controls, but I haven't tried that yet. So let me see. I think I have to actually add an effect. But anyway, I'm going to play around with this a little bit more, and I'll get back to you with a part 2 on this one. because I'm still not really totally sure what I'm doing. I basically just hooked this up and started playing around with it. But I haven't really done extensive mapping. What I may do is actually install hydrogen on my main computer and play around with it there too, just so I can see a little more as to what's going on. And but anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and you liked it. If you did, give it a good thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to, and check out my other videos and my Patreon page, which is just patreon.com/demonicsweaters. And thank you all for watching. Have a great day, everybody.